podcast. Come take this walk with me.
Welcome back to the Three Parallels podcast with your host, the brother Dr. Jason Branch, a show where we rediscover who we were, embrace who we are, and make room for who we're trying to become. We coming to you live today from Battlecast Studios. Where's Battlecast Studios? I'm glad you asked. In the basement of Gator University, where the Gators play, baby. Where my Gators at? Holla at your boy. On today's show, I got a superstar, okay? I got me a superstar, and she bad. I'm talking about Michael Jackson's sister bad. She's so bad because she does everything. The question is, what is it that you don't do? This person I'm bringing to the show is a psychologist. She's a holistic doctor. She does a holistic medicine. She is a personal trainer. She looks at wellness from a holistic perspective, getting your life together physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. She is a provider. She's a business owner. She is a TED Talk speaker. She is everything and some. I mean, we can just call her Guac, okay? Because she a little extra. Ladies and gentlemen, and those in between, I am bringing to the show today the one, the only Dr. Supatra Tovar. Welcome to the show, baby.
Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Jason.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for gracing us with your presence, with your truth. So I want to dive right in because we ain't got a lot of time and you got a lot. Okay. And I need all of it. So I'm curious if you could, with the listeners, share who are you? What do you do to let them know about your greatness? Because that's what I want to talk about.
Oh, well, thank you so much for your fabulous introduction. I am a clinical psychologist. That is what I would identify with most, but I'm also a registered dietitian and I'm a fitness expert. I've had 26 years now in the Pilates industry.
Wow.
As a Pilates instructor. And so what I do is holistic nutritional psychology. So that can be for anyone who comes through my door for any kind of disorder that they might be struggling with. One of my specialties is treating eating disorders. That's a huge interest of mine. But I also treat trauma, which also informs eating disorders, anxiety, depression, ADHD, autism, you name it. I have a variety of clients that come to me for help. And I use a variety of techniques from attachment theory to mindfulness to nutritional interventions to help people recover from whatever difficulty they're facing.
Thank you. Thank you. My introduction just does not do justice to all of that because you do multiple things and you do multiple things very well. So I'm curious, how did you get into the helping profession and what made you decide to dedicate your life to this work and serving other people?
Well, it was kind of a long and storied path, but I'll try to make it really succinct. My first encounter with what I treat now with eating disorders happened when I was pretty young, when I was in high school. And it was somebody I was really close to. And it was really difficult for me to watch her go through an eating disorder. If anybody's ever experienced that or knows somebody who's experienced it, it's very harrowing and very dangerous. And I was helpless at that time. So over time, that's how I returned to that study. But I actually made a long and winding journey to get there. I was in the entertainment industry actually for many years and made my living that way, acting, singing, dancing, doing musicals, the whole 9 yards, jazz hands and all. Um, and then eventually made my way into the fitness industry to be a Pilates instructor. That was helping me supplement my income as an actor. And then I just dove head on into academia from that point when I was really experiencing what I was seeing with my clients and really wanting to help them beyond the fitness side of things. So I went to study nutritional science and got my master's to become a registered dietitian, and then was really like, no, you know what? I just don't have enough. I really need to get into people's minds. And so I went on to study clinical psychology after that. And that's how I kind of got the trifecta of education to be able to help people on all levels.
Wow. Wow. So I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming at all. So
You
you've
didn't see the
lived.
jazz hands?
I didn't know it was part of a career. I thought this was just something you did. I didn't know this was a profession. So you've lived multiple lives. You know,
Yes.
what you've done, people don't do on average. Usually they do one of the things that you've done. You've done multiple things. So I'm curious, the transition and going from back when you were young, like, did you know I want to get into entertainment and you did that? Or, what made you decide this is the route that I want to go? And then what made you pivot? Because that's a huge shift to go from entertainment into academia. Tell us about it.
Yes. Well, I remember the moment I decided, and I had watched Dangerous Liaisons.
Uh-huh.
And I
Uh-huh.
watched that scene where Glenn Close at the end is like taking off her makeup and she's just upset. And I was like, wow, she's amazing. If I
Mm,
could do that, if I could help people was the key word that I remember. If I could help people learn about themselves or affect people in that way, that would be my greatest dream. And so
mm,
from that point on, I was like in every play and every musical, and I was, going to school for it and all sorts of stuff. So I dove headfirst into the entertainment industry and loved it, especially when I was doing it in Colorado. I'm from
mhm,
Colorado, and I really loved making my living doing that. I did educational theater for my bread and butter, and I was doing commercials and I was doing films and all sorts of stuff, and it was really fun. Then I came to Los Angeles, which is a whole other can of worms. You realize that
mm,
you are like a very, very, very tiny, tiny fish in a very, very, very big pond. And
mhm,
so the shift was difficult. I was still making my living doing
mhm.
acting, but it was just difficult because Los Angeles, even just to navigate driving, going from where I am, which is near downtown, if anybody knows Los Angeles, to Santa Monica on a Friday afternoon at
Mhm.
4:30 in the middle of traffic
Yes,
to do an
indeed.
audition for one line. And then to have to drive all the way back. Like eventually I was like, I am definitely not helping people. Well, I was helping people with what I was doing, like educational theater and all the other theater, but I was like, it just wasn't fulfilling. Even though I was doing it,
Mm,
it wasn't fulfilling. And it wasn't until I started teaching Pilates that I realized my calling
mm.
was helping people.
Yeah.
That's what brought me so much joy. Like, I can't even describe to you what helping people does to my heart. Like, it just like the
Mm.
Grinch, it's just bigger and bigger and bigger. I loved doing that. And the more I did it, the more addicting it got. And the
Wow.
less appealing going to Santa Monica on a Friday afternoon at 4:30 was. Even though I love performing, I love it with
Hmm.
all of my heart. I miss it a great deal, but I don't miss that life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I really do love this is where I work. I do mainly telehealth since the pandemic. I'm in my pajamas all day and I have my dogs next to me and I'm helping people. And I'm like, this is the greatest thing I could ever do with my
Come
time.
on. You speak in my language. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on. So how did you, so I'm assuming, because you telling me a little bit, I want to start connecting dots. So you were doing Pilates as a side hustle, little side
hmm
income. And
hmm
you didn't know that Pilates could bring you the joy that you experience. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I knew that Pilates brought joy because as soon as I started doing Pilates, I was like, wow. I mean,
Mm.
I've grown up with movement. I was skier in Colorado, hiker, backpacker. I love exercise, but
Uh-huh.
I've never like been addicted to something like
Wow.
Pilates. Pilates, the moment
Wow.
I started it, I was like, oh, that's it. I did it
Mm.
once and I was like, I want to teach it. I remember going to the studio where I eventually worked later on
Hmm.
and went to the owner. She's pretty famous in the Pilates world. Her name's Tracy Mallet. And I was like, hi, I want to teach Pilates. And she goes, how much have you done? Have you done the equipment? I was like, no, there's equipment. She was like, okay, girl, like okay. So I had to do like a few things, but I was like, yeah, this is it. I want to do it. And I
Wow.
loved it from the get-go. And I loved being an instructor. I loved helping people,
Hmm.
figure out what their bodies could do. We were helping people heal from injuries. It was freaking great. But I
Wow.
realized like I wanted to do more.
Mm.
I needed to like help them on all levels. And I didn't have the education to be able to
Yeah.
do that. And so
Yeah.
that's why I went back to school.
Wow. Wow. So we got to go back because this is so much. And I appreciate you just, this is one of the things that caught my attention. So for those who don't know, for the listeners, I met Dr. Tovar at a TED Talk, TEDx Temecula, and she was on the stage and she blew the stage up. Okay, she set the stage on fire and left.
I was
Okay,
first. I was petrified. My knees were shaking. Oh my God.
we couldn't tell. We couldn't tell because you
Thank
showed
God.
up and you showed out. I loved it. I was a fan. I can't speak for nobody else, but that was enough for me because it let me know about you. You showed us who you were, and that's really important to me. And that's how we ended up here. So I'm curious to learn more because I don't even know if you know, for you to make a transition from literally Hollywood to Pilates or movement to therapy and holistic and wellness, like that's three huge pivots. So I'm curious about the origin, like your family. Are you an only child? Do you have siblings? Did your parents support this? Because to me, more often than not, we typically don't make these kind of pivots, and definitely not 3 or 4 or 6, 12 times, but you did. And anything that you put your mind to or you put your energy to, you did it at a very high level. So where did this come from? What's the origin of this desire to not only shift, but to become an expert or develop mastery in these different entities?
Pure stubbornness. I I would have to say I was probably the most stubborn kid. I mean, in the talk
Mm,
we talk about my mom feeding me disgusting overboiled Brussels sprouts. She would like try to make me sit at the table and finish everything on my plate, which I don't recommend to any
mm-hmm,
parent out there. Please don't do that to your child. It's terrible. And I would do
mm-hmm.
things like drink as much milk as I could and just throw up on my plate and then be done. I'd be like, no, I can't eat it anymore. Sorry, mom. Ugh. Um, but they never wanted me to be an actor. No, no, no. They never supported that. They always discouraged it, even though they were like, on the surface, like, yay, you got this supportive. They like never wanted me to do that. My sister took a traditional route. She's older. She became a lawyer. So that was like, oh my God, everything. What she's doing is everything. My brother is younger than me, and because he's the youngest, could get away with anything, literally just anything. But for me, like,
Mm-hmm.
no, 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 no. My mom wanted me to be a journalist or a doctor or something like that now.
Mm-hmm.
Close enough. I was in, entertainment. I could play a journalist. So I did that stubbornly for years. And I think for me, if somebody tells me you can't, I'm like, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see about that. And all along the way, I had people telling me I can't, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
even not necessarily Pilates, because hey, it was great. You can,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
But once I got into dietetics, once I got into my nutritional science program, I kept hearing, you can't, you'll never get a local internship. Never. It's
Mm.
impossible. As soon as I hear that, I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to. And I would just do everything. I did every extracurricular thing. I did, so many innovative things, and I got a local internship. I was like, ha 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 ha. I told you. Aha. And then when I got into my psychology program, they said the same thing. You will never get a local internship, an APA accredited local internship. No, it'll never happen. And I was like, yeah. Oh, you just said never. You just said never. So yeah, I do
Wow.
that. And I worked my butt off. I'm not saying that was easy. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy, but I swear it's pure stubbornness and determination. If I want something, I know it can happen and I can see that there's a pathway. And this is
Yeah.
what I help my clients with. I think the most important thing you can do is mind your mind.
Ooh,
Because most,
ooh, tell us
yeah,
about that. Mind your
well,
mind.
most people have an idea of can't. They also tend to go to worst case scenario more often than anything else. And I think that that is such a waste of mind space.
Whew. Oh,
It
time out.
really,
Time out real quick. Dr. Tovar, I need you to know this. I usually kick people off this show for doing what you're doing right now. Okay.
what?
I send people home. It's too good. It's too great. And it's so
Uh,
unique because you're absolutely right. And I feel the same way, which is not the norm. So I love the quote, minding your mind and looking at things differently. Like, where did you develop this, especially from your background where you may have been inundated with what you can't do? And you say you call it stubborn. I call it a rebel. You're a little rebel to me. You are a rebel. How did you develop this and then to double down on it, especially dealing with what we deal with in society. How did you do it?
Well, I think that you kind of just have two choices when people tell you that you can't. You have two choices. You either say, yeah, you're right, or no, you're wrong. And I just
Mm.
didn't like being told who I was and what I could do. Even my dad, oh my God, my dad. When I decided that I was going to go to clinical psychology, and I'm not the youngest person
Uh-huh.
in the world.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, "Oh my God, you're going to be so old by the time you graduate. Are you even sure about it?" And I was like, "Oh my God, yeah, I'm even more sure." Just because you
Wow.
said I might be too old to do something. I just
Mm.
don't like people telling me what I am and what I'm not. I
Yeah.
want to determine that. I think
Mm.
that's just, just a part of my personality. But I
Yeah.
really love to help my clients find that side of themselves because
Mm-hmm.
I think if you can visualize it and it's possible for somebody else, why can't it be possible for you?
Hmm.
Why? There's
So
really no other reason other than you think so.
yeah. So let me ask, where do you think that comes from? Where people develop these scenarios and ideas in their head where they tell themselves no, or they think negatively or pessimistic. You have an ability to overcome that. And now you're in a place and space where you're helping other people do it. How are you able to make that switch? And where do you think people get that from? Like the origin of these beliefs?
Well, I right now I'm actually in development of a keynote speech, and
Okay.
the speech is it's very similar. It's in like it's like an expanded version of my TED Talk, but it's called From Perfectionism to Joy. The
Mm,
way out is inward.
mm,
And essentially, what I have found more often than not, and I'm going to kind of give away the juicy little bit that you come to at the end of this, more often than not, people choose a safe route, or they learn how to people please, or they become perfectionists, or all three, or whatever it is that is not allowing them to be their authentic self, because human beings' primary concern in life, two things, one primarily and the other one alongside it, is achieving safety.
mm. It's powerful.
The other thing is love. That's the only two things that human beings really want and care about and need. And so we learn how to discount our emotional needs, or who we really are, or what we're all about, or forgo our dreams, or whatever is keeping us from that thing that we really want, because we are so afraid of not being safe. And I
Mm,
think what we realize over time, especially when it comes to perfectionism, but really when it becomes any kind of pursuit that takes you away from your authentic self,
mm-hmm,
is that that doesn't actually ever lead to real safety. That it's a
mm,
temporary thing. If you are depending on outside forces to tell you whether or not you're worthy, or you're good enough, or you're safe, it'll never provide you satisfaction, because the goalposts keep moving, and you'll get that temporary thing from one person, but the next person you'll be depending on for your feeling of safety. So what I've learned, and this is what I teach in the TED Talk, also in this keynote, is that the only way you can achieve true safety is through a state that you develop through your autonomic nervous system.
mm-hmm,
Safety is a state, is a feeling that you cultivate from the inside out, not the
mm-hmm,
outside in. So I think over time, to answer that question in a very long and winding way, I assured myself no one else was making me feel safe. My parents weren't making me feel safe. Los Angeles wasn't making me feel safe. That industry wasn't. I think that the stubbornness and the determination, I had to continuously tell myself I can do this.
mm,
And
mm,
that's what actually brought me a feeling of safety and control. It wasn't anyone or anything else. Now, I can't tell you I was perfect at that.
mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm,
struggled like everyone else. I struggled with my body image. I struggled with dieting. I struggled with self doubt. but I think my main driver is that stubbornness and
Mm,
the determination. That's, I
yeah.
think, what actually makes me feel safe.
Oh wait, you are in here. I'm finna call you Uber. You gotta go because this is so, it's so good and it's so much because we just went somewhere. We went really deep. And on this show, for those listening or for those who are new, what you're sharing, I connect to our house. And to me, our house, the house you grew up in, is the reason that you're in the house that you live in now. This is my belief because we're going to be just like our parents, complete opposite, somewhere in the middle. And then it connects to those parallels, who we were, who are becoming. And what you're talking about related to that safety and finding it for yourself from the inside out connects to your basement. Because there's three levels, three layers: the attic, the living room, the basement. The attic is where we spend most of our time, which is in our head, going back to
Mm,
mind your mind. The living room is where we are present, but it's hard to be present if I'm focused on the future or the past. In the basement,
mhm.
we don't go down there because there's a padlock on the door, and all the things that happen to us from birth to where we are right now, we throw it down there and we shut the door and lock it. And what I hear is you decided, I'm taking a lock off that door. I'm going downstairs to putting a flashlight on and unpacking things and removing that I don't need. And it sounds like you've done a lot of work. So if you don't mind sharing, telling us about the work that you did to clean your basement out, now look like one of them basements on MTV Crib. So what's the story?
Oh, I think that is a very long and winding road. But I would say that a few things helped me clean out the basement. First, of course, I mean, any psychologist has to go through lots and lots of therapy themselves, and they have to really work on what they've experienced, the traumas they've had, of, the past, to be able to be present and able to help somebody who's experienced something even similar or worse. You
Mhm,
have to have worked through your stuff to be able to sit in front of people and not, have that crazy counter transference and, like, be traumatized yourself. Like, that's really, really important. But I would say the most important thing that I've ever done for myself is learn how to meditate.
whew,
And I did that in my dietetics program in my nutritional science master's, because I got in there and I was like, what? Biochemistry? Oh my God. It was so stressful to think about
mm,
everything, because science is insane how much you have to memorize. And
mhm,
I was not used to it. It'd been years since I've been in school. I actually got my degree in biology because my mom was like, if you don't, I'm not paying for your college. So fine. But I was really glad. I will give it up to my mom for helping me have a degree that helped me get into
mhm,
nutritional science easier. Thank you, Bob. But it was so stressful, and I had so much to memorize that I knew I had to find a way to manage my anxiety. So I did
mhm,
something really simple. I just, like, carved out a half an hour every day. I put on some meditative music and I just imagined myself floating. That's I've been doing this since 2012. I just put
wow.
music on and imagine myself floating. And I just try to let go. I imagine myself just letting go, like just
Mhm,
floating and letting go. And I know that it's not like the most, there's a lot of schools of thought on meditation. I personally think that meditation's anything you want it to be.
whew,
You do not have to sit in lotus position. You do not have to chant Om. You can make it what you want it to be. But over time, they call it a practice for a reason. When you practice this, there's physiological changes that happen in your brain. You actually
mhm,
grow more fibers between your corpus callosum, the fibers between the two halves of your brain, and that helps you multitask better. They've shown
mhm,
studies that it's helped increase empathy and compassion. It is there's like so there health benefits. There's so many benefits to meditation, and I think that meditation just made me a very grounded person. I, I
mhm.
I'm not perfect by any means, but I am way different than I was in 2012.
Yeah.
And I help people in a way that encompasses meditation. I think that things like this, or therapy sessions, they're like mindfulness sessions to me. How
Mhm,
grounded can I be? How present can I be? How in tuned can I be? Because I think when we are as grounded as we can be and our nervous systems are relaxed, that's when we access this inner wisdom that we have. It's ancient. It's like
Mm.
the voice that we have when we access this inner wisdom is ancient. And what's so cool in therapy is that I feel like something moves through me
Mhm.
and points me in directions, right? Like I'll hear, oh, ask about this. I
Mm.
know that's my inner voice saying, like, investigate that. And when I do that, it's like gold mine.
Ooh.
And then I'm like, ooh, and then I hear where I need to go next.
Yeah.
And I think that that's actually just been the key to my success and why people stay in therapy with me for a long time. I've had clients with me since like 2017.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
impressive. That's
And that's
impressive.
I don't want to say that to be braggy. I don't want to be
Hmm.
braggy. That's not the
Hmm.
point. The point is when you learn to listen deeply to yourself, everything changes. That's the heart of that TED Talk. That's the heart of that keynote that I'm going to give is that if you can learn how to listen, not think, turn
Hmm.
this thing off. This thing is, ugh, your attic is not pleasant. Like,
At
get
all.
out of that and get into the living room.
Yes.
Seriously, be
Oh,
in the living room because
yes.
that is where the magic is. We don't have to think so hard.
These are facts. These are
we
facts
can
all day
we can
long.
just listen and it's crazy. I will tell you this. when when my clients are in the attic and they're all stressed out and they're in their sympathetic nervous system, the voice that comes out is usually like that wounded kid, and it depends on the age of the wounding, right? I
Hmm.
have them pinpoint how old are you right there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then I have them calm down and I have them to regulate their nervous system,
Hmm.
and then I have them access the voice. And the voice is crazy ancient. Like, wow, the difference is insane. And the difference is
Hmm.
also how loving and kind and empathetic and compassionate that voice is. So,
Hmm.
y'all, if you can learn how to like calm down, and there's so many ways to do it, just deep breathing for 2 minutes. You can splash cold water on your face. You can do some bilateral stimulation and just tap either side of yourself, and you can like really calm down your nervous system. Listen, that's the time. Don't think. Just
Hmm.
listen in and hear what that voice is telling you. And you'll be like, what? Oh, oh,
So good.
oh.
So
Yeah.
good. This is so powerful. And you're changing lives. And this is why I wanted you here because I knew what you was gonna bring. For those listening, I was prepared for y'all. Okay. I was ready for y'all. And what you're sharing is a higher level than what we're given usually, from birth to where we are now. This information, although it's around us, we're not aware of it, which means it doesn't exist. And for you, your awareness in the work that you've done speaks volumes to who you are and where you are because you're listening to that inner guide. And I love and I respect it because that inner guide is your future self. That's her. All caps, no blue hat. And you don't mind listening to her because she got you to this place. And this is just where you are now. I know you finna go even further because of who you're listening to. One thing that you said that really stands out to me is meditation is whatever you say it is. And I need you to know you just gave people permission to meditate for the first time because you remove the rules, you remove the laws, you remove these stuffy ideas of what we have to do. And you're absolutely right. We don't. But that connects back to that inner voice. So please know you blessing us. Okay. If you
Mm.
ain't blessing nobody, you blessing me. So just know that. So I want to switch. I want to pivot a bit. And we're going to stay in the basement a little bit because we having fun down here. And I want to go to the kitchen table because my perception is your lived experience around food led to being a dietitian and learning about food differently, learning about health and wellness differently. So, if you could tell us more about your journey to becoming a dietitian and what does that look like from where you were to where you are now?
Well, it's so different from where I started to where I am now. I
Hmm.
think that a lot of people go into dietetics because they want to like figure out the right plan, to figure out how many calories do we need and what are the macronutrients we need. And you learn all of that, of course, and you learn every like freaking equation under the sun that you have to use with clients. I don't use any of it. I don't use any of it.
Hold on, time out.
None
Not
of it.
talking about.
None.
So real quick, you are something else. I told y'all. I told y'all. So what you're explaining, this is so good. I want you to continue to share this because what you're explaining, I love analogies and metaphors. This is my thing. So what you're talking about represents the beach. And to me, the beach is vast. There is uninhabited beaches all across this world. And somebody along the way decides, usually a white guy, heterosexual, he had the five factor, that decides I need to put a sandbox on this beach, and these are the rules that we got to live by. And you, even as a professional, decided I'm not doing that. This is how we're going to do it. Again, rebel, okay? You're just a freaking rebel. Tell us about your ability to decide I'm going to do this my way, and you have evidence that it works versus doing what you were taught and told of how it has to be done. Tell us about it because this is a
Well,
whole nother
okay.
level.
I don't know if you've ever been on a diet, but I think everybody has been on a diet in their lives. Has it worked?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer
Mm-hmm.
is no. Maybe temporarily. You cut something out and you drastically reduce your calories. Well, that actually was what led me into school. I was like, I want to figure it out. I want this for myself and I want this for my clients. And if I could figure out the equations, then it would be right. Then I realized, and I was doing more and more research, especially around eating disorders. And I was like, wait, there's no diet that's ever really 100% worked or that anybody's been able to stay on for life, if not like they may be, heading toward an eating disorder. I'm like, well, why is that? Why don't diets work? And I just did a lot of like deep dive into physiology, and the body hates it. The
Mm.
body hates restriction.
Yeah.
And as soon as it senses restriction, guess what it's going to try to do? Keep you alive. It's thinking that you're starving it, which you are. And
Hmm.
if the body feels like it's being restricted or starved, it then starts keeping score. It's like, well, how much fat did we have? How much muscle did we have before she started starving us? Because we've got to get back to that. It's seriously, it's like, nope. It says nope right away. And it's like, no, I will not. Even if you might be losing stuff, you'll lose muscle first, which is
Hmm.
not what you want to lose, water. Then you'll slowly start to like let go of those fat calories, but the body's like, no, they're so juicy. I want to keep my fat. And it'll eventually let go of the fat. But the second you go off that diet, you get this phenomenon. It's called compensatory hyperphagia. I love that word. I love that phrase so much. It just means to make up for compensatory what you lost before. And hyperphagia means hyper means lots and phagia means eat. So to make up for what happened before, you're eating a lot, which is great. I love that. And it's kept the score, and it'll take you right back to where you started or higher.
Hmm.
So it's pointless. So I was like, wait. Dieting is so pointless. Why do we do it? Why do we do it? And I did a deeper dive. It's because
Hmm.
we're like so conditioned in two different ways by lookism, which is the cultural pursuit of this thin ideal, and weightism or weight stigma, because we're so afraid of being shamed for our weight. And studies have shown that being shamed for our weight only makes us gain more weight eventually. So I'm like, oh my God, this is like so pointless. So what
Mm.
then should we do?
Hmm.
And that's when I started, this meditation is happening all along the way. And I'm starting to like listen more to my body. I'm starting to hear my body, and I'm starting to hear, oh, I'm hungry. And I'm like, I used to be like, oh, well, you gotta fight that. It's morally better to
Mm.
fight your hunger. And then I was like, wait. And I was doing more research on our hunger and our fullness hormones. And when we ignore that, the body then just ramps it up even more. But
Hmm.
when you actually feed yourself, which is a crazy thing, you actually feed yourself when you're hungry, your body's like, oh, we're safe. Remember, the only thing
Go
we
back.
care about is safety.
Look at you.
And then when we eat slowly and mindfully, so mindful eating also keeps us in our parasympathetic nervous system, which is also known as our rest and digest nervous system. You can
Hmm.
digest your food. When you're stressed, you can't.
Yeah.
The body turns off digestion. So, oh, wait. So when I'm relaxed and I'm eating mindfully and I'm eating slowly, body loves this because it's like, nom, nom, nom. Nami, 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 nami. I love food. That's what I hear my body saying when I'm eating is yum, 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 yum. And then your body will tell you the moment you're done eating, right? It'll be like, hi, that's enough. And it's like
Yes.
any food, right? Like potato chips. I always talk about like no food is off limits in my land. No
Mm-hmm.
food. Because
Yeah.
there's like at the 10th potato chip, you're like, your tongue starts getting all like crinkly. There's so much salt. And you're just like, ugh, if you're really listening, right? And you don't have it be off limits. It's like, I can have a potato chip whenever I want. And
So was comedy part of your entertainment? Like, you got me over here crying. You are hilarious. Your sense of humor, your comedic timing, like you are hilarious. Is this always been you?
yeah.
I'm here for it because it humanizes these experiences. Like for you to
Yeah.
be who you are and to accomplish how much you have and still have a sense of humor, still have humility, still be authentic. Like you're authentically you. This is a gift. Okay. You are a gift. I need you to
But
know
I'm
that.
not done. I'm not done with my
I'm
comedy
sorry.
yet.
Keep going. Keep going.
When you're all nummy, 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 you're eating, right?
Yeah.
Then there's a point. Your body's like, that's enough food, right? And
Mm,
guess what? If you listen to that, you've given your body, especially if when you're hungry, you listen to what your body's asking for. It could be pasta. Oh my God. No, pasta's off limits. No, pasta's not off limits. If you are looking
mm,
for pasta, there's a reason. It's probably because you're low in glucose and your body wants a faster way to get glucose. It may be a nummy salad, right? Full of all sorts of colorful vegetables. You might be needing vitamins and minerals, right?
mm,
So if you give yourself what your body's asking for, and you eat slowly enough when you're hungry, not too hungry, but just hungry enough. And then when you stop, when you're no longer hungry and you're calm the whole time, guess who never has to diet again?
wow. Wow.
That's the way that I help my body return to what is, I believe, like its perfect like state. Like I love my body. I don't diet. I don't restrict anything. I listen to it. I give it what it wants. I really, and I do know like probably way more about nutrition than I should. So I also know what really, really makes my body happy, like on all levels. Imagine that. Never dieting, never counting a calorie, never restricting your carbs. Sad, sad. That's so sad when you restrict your carbs. Don't do
Mm.
that, you guys. Don't restrict your carbs.
Whew.
It's very, very sad if you do that. But listen to your body because your body will tell you what type of carbs it wants.
Hmm. And this theme, I love how you're teaching and educating us because it all connects to what you shared about listening, not thinking, but listening. So,
Listening.
listening to your body, listen to your mind, your heart. Like you have mastered this ability to know thyself. So
Mhm.
much so, you've removed a lot of these systems, even though you know them well, you removed a lot of them because you recognize it doesn't work for everyone. And especially it doesn't
Mhm.
work for you. That's a whole nother level. And you have blessed me with this because you gave me permission to look at food differently. You gave the
Mhm.
listeners permission to look at things differently. And this is why this show is so important to me because we are providing information to help people consider something different. And that's what you just did. So please know clients are coming. Okay. The listeners are coming because you're speaking a different language that to me you're again you're humanizing it, you're not demeaning it, you're not putting these restrictions on, you're allowing people to be people, and you are a card carrying member as well. Like you live it,
Mhm.
you don't just talk it, you live it. Whew,
Mhm.
we gonna leave this basement. We gonna leave this basement. I got your Uber black card coming in a minute, but we're gonna hang out in the kitchen next. So in the
Okay.
kitchen, I got a few questions. I'm curious, how do you what are your thoughts about self-care and how do you practice self-care? What does that look like?
Oh, I was hoping you would ask me that question because I
Right
hate
on
that
time.
question. I practice what I call facetiously, military, no, militant self-care. That's what I
Okay.
practice. Militant self-care, meaning it's mandatory.
Mm.
I spend about 3 to 4 hours in the morning because I get to make my schedule so I don't have to start till like 10 or 11 because
Hmm.
that's just how I roll.
Let's go.
No talking before 10 is my rule. Um, and I will wake up early. I go to sleep early, first of all. That's like part of the
How,
militant
how early
part.
we talking?
I go to bed at like 10. I'm in bed
Oh,
by
okay.
like 9:30 and I try to be asleep by 10 so that I can wake up at 6 because that's
Okay.
perfect.
Gotcha.
And if I can wake up at 6, then I can spend a little bit of time doing some meditation. I also do the daily Wordle, so that's important as well. Then I will exercise a half hour minimum. I also just got like a little treadmill, which is awesome. So I do a little extra walking because I sit all day and oh my God, I have to walk a little bit more. Um, then I will make a yummy, yummy, nummy, yummy breakfast and I will do my nom, 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 noms. I also hand make my dog's food because I don't know what's in dog food. And I'm like, I know what I'm going to feed them. So they're super healthy. Um, then I walk them. Then I do a little bit more walking on my treadmill. And then I start my day. And
Mm.
that is my self care. If I can do that, if I don't exercise, and it's not like I'm going crazy, I'm not like they're, doing like aerobics or anything. I might be doing like bar work, or I might be doing Pilates, or, something that's a little mildly cardio that gets my blood pumping or whatever. Um, then that makes me able to sit here because I have to sit in this chair. And I
Mhm.
mean, before I left for July 4th, I had 9 clients in
Ooh.
one day.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Oh, you're like a crumpled little comma at the end, you're like shaped like that. Um, so yeah, like I have to move and I have to meditate. And I need to stretch. So even throughout the day, after each client, I stretch. I'll do like a full back bend over my Pilates equipment. Because I gotta like straighten out the comma, right?
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
What's a word, phrase, or memory or moment that has stuck with you personally or professionally?
Word, phrase, or memory. Well, I often talk about the memory of watching somebody with that eating disorder. That's a core memory for me. That's, feeling helpless at that point. And now knowing that I can help, that's everything.
Mm, I love it. I love it. With the many years of helping people, working with people, I'm curious to know what have you learned about yourself and what have you learned about people?
Well, what I've learned about myself, I think just goes back to what we were talking about before, that I really can trust myself. I also know that I have a very small, tiny capacity for negativity.
Mm.
So I don't, I'll like scroll the headlines, but I'm like, ew, 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 ew. Okay, ew, right? And my social media is like dogs, literally, and like, goats and like little tiny baby donkeys and things like that, because that's all I can take. I'm like, oh, it's so cute. I can't be a part, like, I can be of the world. I don't have to
Hmm.
be in the world.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
I don't like that. And I think we're just way too negative.
Agreed.
I don't like that for myself. So I don't care if people think that I'm like out of touch or what. I don't care.
I
I
love
know
it.
what's going on. I just don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And I think what surprises me or what interests me with people is helping them see that there are different ways to think about things.
Hmm.
Because I
Hmm.
think that we just get conditioned. It's conditioning. It's a
Yeah.
thought you've been thinking for a long time. It doesn't mean that's you. And when I can help them access their true inner voice, and then they see how they've been living before and how they could live differently, oh, it's gravy.
Next level. Ah, love it. I love it. What would you say is your proudest moment or accomplishment?
No, I would say the definitely the proudest moment was graduating with the doctorate, but I also got to be the commencement speaker.
What?
You can Google it. It's on YouTube.
How? How do you?
You do. But I loved that speech because I was inspired. I don't know. I tell this to all my clients. I'm going to tell it to you guys. Um, I was inspired by Jim Carrey's commencement speech. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but you all need to go watch that because
I will
that,
add it to the description. Thank you for that. Tell us about it.
well, I don't want to give it away too much, but
Okay.
he says that there's only two choices in life, essentially. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to say much more than that because
Okay.
it's really important to watch it. He's brilliant. He's amazing. He is somebody who's for sure mastered his mind. He minds his mind all the
Absolutely.
time.
Absolutely.
And his takeaway is everything to me. So I modeled my speech after
Mm-hmm.
that. And I wanted to really put a punctuation mark on the why. Why did we do all this stuff? So I basically I the start of my speech was I actually calculated how many months, days, hours, and seconds that we spent in our doctoral program. I like
Mm-hmm.
calculated. That was like the beginning of
Yeah.
my speech. A,
Yeah.
a lot of minutes. Um, and basically, like, why did we go through all of this pain? Because
True story.
doctoral
True
programs are
story.
not easy, and all of us can diagnose ourselves
Come
with general
on.
anxiety disorder at the end because, woo, Lordy, that's an anxious path. But why are we doing all of this? And you are a doctor. Tell me your why. Why do you do this?
I have several whys. The core why to give people that look like me an opportunity to see themselves in what we do.
Beautiful.
That was
Beautiful.
that's the core, but there's several. It could take a whole show of
Yeah.
all the whys because it's important for us to see us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would say that funnels into my why, which is love.
Mm.
Love. That's the only reason I do what I do. I love it. I love helping people. I love people.
Hmm.
And I want so badly to help them.
Yes. Love it. Oh, you've given us so much. You have blessed all of us 100%. And I'm curious because you shared so much of your personal life. If you could share an interesting fact about you, because you dropping gems already, but an interesting fact that most people wouldn't know about you, what would that be?
I am an advanced open water scuba diver.
What?
That's
Yeah.
actually, I think, my favorite thing to do in the world.
Mm,
It's like diving into the world's biggest aquarium. And I
beautiful.
love animals, as you could tell. That's my
Uh-huh.
entire Instagram is all animals. But, um, and I just go to find as many critters as I can see in one trip. That's
Wow.
my favorite thing to do. Most of my trips, even if they're not diving, they're about finding critters. Like I went to
Wow.
Alaska and I was on the hunt for critters. That was my whole goal. How many
Wow.
critters can I see?
Wow. Are you capturing or you just look at them?
Oh, I take video, not great video, whatever.
Gotcha.
But I want to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to remember.
Curious, because now I'm all in your business. Are these solo trips? Or you with people? You doing the dives by
With
yourself?
people, my sister and I are both advanced open water, and we've done several trips in the past. And we realized that this last trip we just went to Cozumel together in May that neither of our husbands really dig scuba diving anymore. Like we've been going with our husbands, but they're like, I don't like it, and we're like, okay, why haven't we done this before? We need to do this regularly, at least once a year. So now that I'm out of, the fog of school and,
Hmm.
I'm actually, a person that makes money. That's been a first. I was that poor actor that never made money. Now I am making enough money to be able to go on these trips. We're going to be doing that a lot. So we have a lot of things in our sights.
I love it. I love it. All right, couple more questions. We're gonna get you out of here because you got ish to do. All right. So on this show, we don't do homework. As a professor, I don't do homework. I do life work. Life work is something that you could do to allow you to pivot. And like you said, with helping people, is helping them consider a different perspective. So if you're gonna offer some life work to the listeners, what would it be to help someone pivot?
I would tell them that the most important thing that they can do is start to tune into themselves. So if the one thing that they can learn how to do is regulate their nervous system, to become aware of it. I mean, I think maybe you're not necessarily aware, but when you're stressed, right? Your shoulders are like up to here and you are like, "Ugh," and you're all up in your head and everything is dark.
Mm-hmm.
If you could just become aware of that moment and pivot and
Mm-hmm.
be like, oh, I'm in the dark side. And then, okay, how can I get to the lighter side? And figure out your way. Your way is going to be your way. Whether it's deep breathing, whether it's walking out in nature, it could be petting your dog, it could be anything that calms your nervous system down. The moment you do that, all I want you to do is ask yourself, what do I need? And just wait. Don't think. Mm. Wait until you hear what you need. Sometimes it's like, I need a nap, or I'm hungry, or I want a hug, or whatever. Usually it's something really kind and loving. Not usually,
Mm-hmm.
it's always something kind and loving.
Yes,
And
indeed.
if you just did that for yourself and then
Mm-hmm.
felt how it feels to give yourself that, it's a whole different day you're having.
All day long, all day long. And you're speaking. I love the voices. Okay, the voices that you have are different versions: past self, current self, future self. Which leads to my next favorite question of this show: is three parallels: who you were, who you are, who you're becoming. So, if you were to describe those three women, what would you say?
I'd like to say that I'm becoming a Michelle Obama.
Ooh, let's go, Michelle. Let's go.
She's who I want to be when I grow up. I love her. I love everything about her. And she is just so admirable. She is just, I just want to be like her, which I would describe as grounded, loving, so intelligent,
Mm,
wise, um, sentient, motherly,
mm,
just kind. I mean, that's what I want. That's 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 what I want to continue to evolve into. I still have work to do, like everyone else. There are times when like quick to anger, and I don't like that. Like
mhm,
I just want to be able to glide through life
mhm,
and just be and not be reactive, not be so sensitive to criticism or to negativity. Like I am
mhm.
still that and I'm working on it. So I just want to be like Michelle.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So, baby Michelle for today, okay?
Yeah, baby
Baby Obama
Michelle.
for the day. I
Love
love
you,
it.
Michelle. Will you please come back? Will you run for president?
There it is. Hey, this is the
Please.
show. Keep talking. This is the show. This is the show for it. You never know. You could be a
I
running
miss
mate
you.
too. That'd be
Oh my
nice.
gosh. No.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. So, last thing before we get out of here, because you have opened many doors for a lot of different people. We've been in the basement, we've been in the living room, we've been in the attic, we've been in meditation, we've been everywhere. And now there are people who are now interested in connecting with you personally, professionally, scuba diving, whatever the case, walking your dogs.
Yeah.
There's people that want to get with you, that want to work with you. How can they get in touch? How can they get in contact? What is it that you are offering? People need what you have. Let it rip.
Okay. Therapy, when we're talking about therapy, I am licensed in so many states now. I'm licensed in California, Washington, Colorado, Illinois, New York, and soon to be Wisconsin of all places. And I will tell you, Wisconsin, I think is becoming the easiest place for
Mm.
me. It's been a journey I'm
Uh-huh.
telling you, dealing with all these different boards.
Yes,
So if
indeed.
you want therapy, which means we go deep and we go into childhood and we discuss things like trauma and all of that stuff, you can contact me through my therapy website, which is drsupatratovar.com, DrSupatratovar.com. And then if you want me to come speak at your next thing, conference, whatever, if you want to work with me on a different, little bit less traumatic level, you want to work on your relationship with food and all of that stuff, you want some private coaching in that area, You can reach me at anew-insight.com. It's anew-insight.com. I also have my own podcast, which I'd like to invite you on, Dr. Jason, please.
Done. Done.
Because we love talking and it's fun. Um, so that's where you can go find out about the podcast, find out about my speaking, different writing stuff. I'm in the media a lot. People ask for like expert stuff and I answer those questions. Come to anew-insight.com. You can also find out more about my book, Deprogrammed Diet Culture. You can also take the course, Deprogrammed Diet Culture. You can get some free resources there. That's all at anew-insight.com. And there's phone
Excellent.
numbers and there's, I'm easily reachable on all the socials and all that stuff.
Y'all heard it here first. Get in where you fit in, family. Get in where you fit in. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for sharing your truth. I love to get flowers, and please know your office now is full of roses because that's what I just gave you. Because you are special. You are unique. You are you. And I'm so thankful to be partnered and connected with you. And you stuck with me for life. Period.
Yay,
Period.
friends forever. Thank you
Forever.
so much. And I really appreciate you inviting me on here. And I appreciate you being in the audience and, giving me love. Being the first person on stage was super scary, but your energy was a huge part of why I didn't fall apart up there because it's kind of scary. But yes, you must come on my podcast as well, please.
Done and done. And I expect to be on that red dot myself in Temecula whenever that time comes. So I will be inviting you to be on the other side for me. So thank you
Absolutely.
again so much. You have been a gem. You have been a jewel. So to the listeners, Gator Nation, y'all heard it here first. Take advantage of what you heard. Take advantage of what's been offered. This is life-changing information, but you can't change your life if you're not looking at your life. That is it. That is all. This has been another episode of 3 PLL's podcast with your host, the brother Dr. Jason Branch, where we rediscover who we were, embrace who we are, and make room for who we're trying to become. If that is you, you're in the right place at the right time. Take care of yourself. Put yourself first. And as you heard from Dr. Tovar, listen. Stop thinking. Listen. And get you something good to eat. Nom, 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 nom.
Nom, nom,
Have a
nom,
great
nom.
day. Peace, peace.